Aha.
Come to Nikolai. I paid for you after all.
Neither pistol nor teddy bear. Takeo can breathe once more.
What is worse that could happen? Like I do not know already. Problem. It is not so bad. Okay, it is very bad.
Childish behavior. What's next?
Double points. No. There will be no frenzy of feeding for you. I'm in no mood for your games.
guys, Mr. Rockaway here. This is going to be a very straightforward guide to finish the Easter egg and get the Seeds of Doubt trophy in Zetsubo no Shima. Before we start, I want to quickly make clear that a lot of the steps for this Easter egg require you to build things. So you're building the shield, or the KT-4, or upgrading the KT-4, and I have guides for all of those things on my channel. So to avoid overcomplicating this guide and making it any more confusing than it already is, each time we get to a thing that needs to be built, I'll direct you to the description, and that is where you'll find the specific guides which really clearly explain exactly how you build or upgrade or do whatever you need to do. Also down there in the description will be some handy tips for those of you that might get stuck. So if you do have a problem with the guide, look in the description, and 9 times out of 10 I'll have a solution down there for you to use. First things first, before you actually begin your game, you're going to want to equip the Anywhere But Here Gobblegum. Then you can begin your game, assuming you've equipped it, and I recommend that straight away you focus on getting your skulls finished. So the skull rituals, there's a link in the description. You can get those cleared up and get the Skull of Narn Sapwi reasonably early if you're working on them from an early round. Alongside that, you can obviously be doing other things on the map, like for example building the KT-4. You can open the Pack-a-Punch if you like. You're going to want to definitely build the shield, and I highly recommend the gas mask as well. And you'll also want to get to work upgrading the KT-4. Now, that is something that you won't necessarily do in your first 5 rounds or anything, but it's something to bear in mind as you play. Another thing to bear in mind while you play is your trials. So that's around the Skull Altar. Each player has 3 trials, and you're going to need each player in your game to complete all 3 of their trials if you want to make progress with the Easter egg. So a quick checklist in that case: there's the Skull of Narn Sapwi, which is really important. You've got to get that, and you should get it earlier rather than later, in my opinion. Then there's the
Why is everyone ditching their old mattress for this one? I now understand why this viral Nectar mattress has thousands.
In this video, I'm going to be giving you the best guide for the Seeds of Doubt Easter egg on the Black Ops 3 Zombies map, Zetsubo no Shima. For your Gobblegum, the only one you absolutely need to run is Anywhere But Here, which can be unlocked at level 10. There's a step during the main quest that requires you to have Anywhere But Here, so if you aren't level 10 and don't have this Gobblegum unlocked, or a teammate who does, you won't be able to complete this Easter egg. For perks, I'd recommend picking up Juggernog, Stamina Up, and Speed Cola, which all change locations each game, and lastly, Widow's Wine, which can be acquired for free by completing the fighter boss fight. Similarly to Origins, there's a lot of different side quests that you'll need for various steps of the main Easter egg. The first of which is picking up a water bucket, which can be found in 4 areas around the map. There's one in the spawn area, one inside of Lab A, one inside of Lab B, and lastly there's one that could be either near the blue or green water sources. The next side quest we'll be completing is turning on the power and draining the water out of the Pack-a-Punch area. To turn on the power and Pack-a-Punch, you need to gain access to the bunker. To open the bunker, you must open both Lab A and B on both sides of the map. Scoop up a full bucket of water from either the blue water or green water spots and interact with the drain inside of each of the labs. Once both sides have water power in them, the bunker will be able to be opened. Note that when you place the water in the drain, it'll start a timer, so move quickly to put the water down in the other lab and open up the bunker. Once inside of the bunker, open up the first door on the left and go under the water. Tearing off the web over the filter will cause an underwater lockdown sequence to begin. Hold out, and upon completion, a part will come out of where you tore the web off. Pick it up because you'll need it to drain the Pack-a-Punch. On your way out of the room, flip the power switch. The second part for Pack-a-Punch can be found in the second room on your right when entering the laboratory. Knife the cocoon zombies in the room until one of them drops another part that's glowing yellow and you can pick up. The last part to drain Pack-a-Punch is located at the bottom of the bunker inside of the Divinium cave. It can be anywhere in the top part of the cave, so just swim around until you find it. Once you have all 3 parts, you can place them on the railings next to the Pack-a-Punch area to drain the water and open up the gate. Now we'll be building and upgrading the shield. There are 3 parts for the shield that are scattered throughout different areas of the map and can be built at any of the buildable tables. The first shield location can be found under Lab A on either of the pillars by the cage drop down or next to the Kuda wall mine. The second is located outside of the Lab B area by the path back to spawn, by the drop down from the skull area, or on the tree next to the pathway towards the bunker. The last part location can be found in the area where the artillery gun is, either on the rubble on the right side of the entrance, on the debris to the left side of the artillery gun, or in the corner by the drop down to the Lab B area. Once you've built the shield, you have to upgrade it by completing all 3 of your challenges with the challenge totem pole. This scales, so if you're playing solo, you only have to complete 1 set of your challenges, but if you're playing co-op, everyone in the game will have to complete their challenges before you can upgrade the shield. Once everyone in the game has completed their challenges, lightning will strike the area, and if you run through it with your shield, it'll become electrified and upgraded. The next side quest we'll do is building the gas mask. This isn't technically required to complete the main Easter egg, but it's extremely helpful. The first part for the gas mask is back by the green water and can be found in the crate, by the green water itself, or up near the Perca-Cola machine. The second part can be found near the plane trap and the broken plane to the right side of the trap.
It's no effing falafel, but it's good. I miss falafel. If I do impersonation of local vegetation, then maybe I get many kills. You are a brave one, I will give you that. Such blade and head height would be dangerous. I hope I am right. A small but destructive incarnation of the war machine.
On the rock in the middle of the broken. Each skull at the podium will have a symbol that correlates with one of 4 different altars around the map. You'll need to take the skull to its corresponding altar and protect it from the incoming zombie attack. The first podium is located in spawn in front of the water, the second podium is in front of the plane trap, the third is at the bottom of the zip line outside of the bunker, and the last podium is at the bottom of the bunker. Once you've cleansed the skull at the podium, take it back to the challenge totem and place it where you picked it up. After all 4 skulls are cleansed and placed, the tree debris will reveal a stairway underground. Inside of the secret area, interact with the Skull of Mount Sapway to start the keeper lockdown. After about 30 seconds, you'll be able to pick up the Skull of Mount Sapway for use. Up next, we'll be building the KT-4. Much like everything on this map, there are 3 parts that you'll need to acquire before you can build it. The first is the Divinium canister. It can be found by killing a yellow glowing zombie that will spawn randomly around Lab B. The second part is the plant, which can be found by swimming to the bottom of the Divinium cave at the bottom of the lab. And the last part is acquired by trapping a spider in the Lab A cage. Lower the cage and run by it to trap the spider inside of the cage. Raise the cage back up and you'll be able to pick up the extractive spider serum. Once you have all 3 parts, go to the bottom of the laboratory and you can craft the KT-4 at the workbench on the left. Now it's time to upgrade the KT-4 to the Masamune. Again, there are 3 different parts you'll have to acquire in order to craft the Masamune. First will require you to complete the spider mini-boss fight and pick up the spider fang. Shoot the web that's located behind the blue water at Lab A with the KT-4. The web will dissolve and you'll be able to slide into the boss fight arena. The giant spider will open its mouth if it attacks the ground. When the mouth is open, spam shoot it until it screeches and stops the attacks. You'll have to do this an additional 2 times, so the faster you shoot his mouth, the better chance of survival you'll have. After you've killed the spider, cross the path that's formed by the broken rock and pick up the spider fang.